You are making this because I realize a lot of people not watching the big picture of everything that's transpiring in our country right now. There's a lot of connectivity along with manipulation, a lot with people trying to make things look good just to cover over situations and remain quiet. So let's start from a very recent timeline just to show you something. In the Miaro police station, you literally saw in 4D two officers who are racist who arrested somebody because one of them stole from a man's house and the man wanted to make a report to the police complaints authority about the situation, and they got perturbed and said because the man cousin was cursing in his own house after they stole a Samsung 16 phone, yeah, out of his own house. He was asking about it and then furthermore wanted to make a report and the officers didn't want to give their names. That is one. Two, let's go to the situation of what I would call him, boy, the radioactive iguana, speaking about black people in the police service. And you remember the judiciary for nearly what, boy? 27 years, I believe, something like that. You're always being racist. You're always being disgusting. And when I call you out on it and my video went viral, that is when you get silent and you sent another racist to attack me in a WhatsApp group. That is two. Yes, I'm talking about Israel Khan, the radioactive iguana. Right. Let's get to a third point now. Let's get to, right, the white glasses wearer. Now, people need to understand there's a difference between entertainment and there's a difference between crime fighting. And there's definitely something called sensationalism that sells papers and or news, or it sells any item, sensationalism or sexism. And some people don't want to believe it, but the thing about it, what's going on in our country right now for the longest while, this individual has been making money off of slandering people, not off of news, And the thing about it, the real unfortunate fact about things is his brother-in-law is corrupted and heavy-handed and egotistical. And some people don't want to admit that. But no problem, I'll admit it to you. But one thing the Bible taught me, and it should have taught him because he's supposed to be versed in theology, is one thing. Whenever you speak the truth, it always hurts those that are guilty. Check the Bible, see if I'm not joking. So with that being said, if your name was Mitchell and you change it to Meister, that's one thing. Furthermore, if you get caught not having sex once, but 3 times on top of a desk in the Ministry of Agriculture, that says something also. Other than that also, in regards to this same individual with the white glasses, there have been 28 linkages between put in place, aka murders, and getting people incarcerated. Right, that is very big situations going on. So having friends that literally kidnap people for multiple years and in denial of it is some serious business. And then furthermore, when you lash out is when you just bring out certain stories about the TTPS because you're feeling or you catch feelings because your brother-in-law got sent on his vacation, would rack up for more than 2 years. And yeah, I have stories on both of them, but it's not important because I'm trying to focus on something to show you guys something. When the defense force man was killed, aka extrajudicial killings, well, they didn't realize how the public get on, and then they start to paint 3 different stories. One from the same white glasses man, one from the police commissioner, and one from the unintelligent one who needs to go back to primary school and alter class. My video went viral about it, and it still is there, nearly about 80,000 views now. No, that is one. 2, the defense force guy that unalived himself recently here. That's so serious. People ask no questions. I can't remember his name for some reason, but that thing with Francoso, well, they still patted down. The Red Vizel, yeah, it have people in Grandia are my friends. Why are they lying to the public about certain things, especially what certain officers doing? Cupid, how are you going? It have plenty of people in jail talking about you, Yo. So let me get to another point now. The officer that killed himself, as in the police officer now, that killed himself. Yeah, Christian Steele. I could say so many things, but I won't. I definitely won't. It's also interesting. Didn't you remember officer got 16 or 15 bullets by the turning point down the road in South exactly 3 weeks ago also? Yeah. You see what I'm trying to show you all? They're making certain things a priority and they're patting down other things. That shows you that they're lying. That's called mental control of what you're seeing on social media. So social programming is not strange. And furthermore, trauma bonding is something that a lot of people doing, because you get this slap and you was angry with it with the situation, but you're changing and you're turning your face now to loving the same people that hurting you. That could never be okay in any format. So let me get to our next point now. With the officer unaliving himself, then we have the situation that occurred on Saturday with the children. You know, it's a DMO, people. Not a funeral. Who am I referring to now? Do you know what is a DMO? Right. As a person that has lost a lot of people via car accidents, via suicide, via COVID, via cancer. You see, to lose somebody in front of you is one thing. But you see, for somebody to profit off of their human shell financially and then pay two adolescents to cover up situations because they keep on money off it, that is some sick, sadistic, maniacal, diabolical, real, corrupted, psycho bullshit. And the thing about it, funeral homes, transport, and food seems to be the only things making money in Trinidad and Tobago right now. And with that being said, you see the covering up of stuff? I personally telling you, I'm getting tired of it. Look at how much things I exposed. My third part in my series didn't get as much views as I expected because, of course, the algorithm patted down. But I strongly urge you to go and see it because I read out the emails. Yes, it's 27 minutes long, but it's full detailed breakdown of corruption that's going on. But let's get back to the point now. So with all that transpiring on Saturday, you could tell me that nearly 60 bodies weren't known to somebody that a funeral home is holding them? Yeah, boy. So let me touch on something very interesting also now. The Arima police station, the amount of stories I have about them, it's ridiculous. Why isn't the white glasses wearer talking about these things? But you know what's important to him? Showing that a girl with mental problems went to a guest house with a man and having sex with him. These are the things that they consider important. This is what they call journalism. And to those people who trying to make his facade, I have to call it that, and character traits look good now, it's too late. Because you can't condone kidnapping and you're always putting people in place. One thing about me, I observe everything to the bottom molecule. I love neuroscience with a passion. I love civil engineering. Not as much as I should, but what I'm simply trying to say, in observation and learning things, it's very interesting. Spirituality is one thing, and what you see is what you get. It's not just words, it's a song, and furthermore, it's what the Bible taught you. Now, I observe everybody's religion holistically. If you have your belief, you have your beliefs. But doing things and twisting the mind of others, that's called manipulation and mental manipulation from sensationalism. That's some bullshit. So what occurred on Saturday, I saw Chance covered it and he did a drone shot. Yeah, a drone shot. So let's get into that for one reason. There's an officer who likes moving with a certain drone pilot. There have been more than 11 occasions which part ladies wake up 8 hours later. Do you understand what I just told you? And there's no hearsay. It has some people don't want to talk about it. And it's a police officer that moving with his drone pilot in parties. And ladies so ashamed, some of them wake up in their car and don't know how they get there. There's no hearsay, I'm telling you. There's real talk. And there's a police officer. So you see what transpired on Saturday night? It should scare you for many reasons. because the young lady lost her brother, who was witnessed passing away with a bullet in his forehead and repeating one phrase. That is so graphic and disturbing. April the 19th will never be forgotten. For me, for many reasons now. Because I have so much frenemies, friends, and people I love who born in April. So when this transpired to her, it's very interesting. You see what disturbing to me? There was a statement made. Don't get worried. This is just a matter of betrayal. Nothing to be worried about. This is just a one-off. How could a fucking police commissioner say that? Just sit and ponder what I just said. There's a police commissioner. This is also the same police commissioner that was found to be calling me a keyboard warrior. Yeah, I'm a keyboard warrior. You're a shameful piece of human being. I'm not addicted to punching. I've been in hospitality for 30 years. Furthermore, if you realize I shave my face every 2 days because I'm a wolf, it grows very quickly. When somebody had to actually tell a police commissioner 3 weeks and 4 days later, hey, you're still as shave as yet, that in itself says something. Furthermore, whenever you all begin listening to people, as in political references, to do your job, that is when you know things reach a state. So, listen to me well. You see the giving of thanks for mediocre performance, and furthermore lying and going with statistics. That doesn't show that you're doing your job, sir. That shows that you're just looking for favoritism with the masses. You know why I could speak like how I speak? Because I have managed hospitality for a long time. And I could say this out loud now. Hilton, Trinidad and Tobago has blacklisted a lot of workers before this thing transpired with them. And being overhanded and ridiculous and using politics to govern who gets a job and who gets better treatment is a disturbing part of Trinidad and Tobago for a very long time. So I don't know if you all really think people don't know things. But Mr. Warner, morning to you, sir. Remember, you are the one who put this infidel in this position. And now he's been embarrassing you so much. Yes, the one who needs the altar class and stuff of that nature. So, with that being said, your both sons, you could ask them. Yes, they know me very well from a certain establishment. Yo, one of them involved into racing like I am. The next one in construction. Yeah, you think I don't know things? You think I don't know what I'm saying? I love mechanical engineering with a passion. But you know I like even more so? Genuine people. So you see people from Maruga? Yeah, I could big up Reds. I could big up Mother Cornhawks. And I could talk many things about people who does make plums. And I could talk many things about OCM. So this one, let's change the reference now. Chance is somebody who reports on things that are going on in Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot be upset with that. When you're being truthful is a hell of a thing. Do you know he was literally assaulted on camera from a police officer? And why I'm bringing this up? Because every single thing that's going on with the boys in blue is always lies. Why it is when they do stuff, you're not putting their names into the public. But why it is situations with 26,000 rounds of ammunition being sold from a police station and people being murdered by ammunition used with the markings of the TTPS. None of these investigations can continuously going on. Why it is Sandy Grande is a war zone and people actually know the killers of many people is linked to police. Why it is DavidWest crying for a salary of $39,000 and doing nothing to help Trinidad and Tobago. Why it is, listen to this now, a man who was born in Trinidad and lived in Canada for a long time, dealt in national security. He's one of the reporters. Why it is Paul, who works for the White Glasses man, somehow seems to be nonchalant and not saying anything what transpired with the White Glasses wearer putting people in place for years now. Why it is Sharida is a Muslim and assisting the same White Glasses wearer, but now you're not even hearing Sharida speaking about Karen Alexis. What it is really going on in Trinidad and Tobago? People not proud of being Trinbaygonians no more. I'm half and half. I'm from Trinidad and I'm from Tobago because of my parentage. My grandfather was half Irish, half Portuguese. I don't look at complexion. So why it is you all successfully make Trinidadians get sufferation from divide and conquer? You know what's real interesting about an atom? It's very small. You know what's interesting about a snowball? It starts on the top and starts to come down. People not observing the things that are going on purpose because they're going through a lot. So you know what real insulting? You see when somebody could knock down your son, anybody's son, and lick off his entire right leg with 100 witnesses and cameras, and then the Department of Public Prosecutions wipes it off because she's friends with a certain big man. Yeah. When you're on the bus route and you have no emergency, but you have a personal medical emergency, is that more important than the young man going to school? Asking for a friend. Do you see how corrupted our nation is right now? And the loud and obnoxious that are not affected who getting a paycheck is the ones who trying to bad up people's name. Notice the monkey. I'm showing up plenty of my Chinese in my face now, ain't? Or the mixture of the Portuguese that my grandfather had. Do you know why I always show up my hair like how it is? Because naturally it grows out and it makes me look like Akuma. My body structure is something I don't need to show up for. I pray and I don't let fear instill inside of me in any way. People need to understand this is our country. And you see, when I saw this guy from Barbados or Guyana, I can't remember right now, but he's a guy with glasses, bald head, very constructive. He spoke to me once. Anytime you could promote your country as an East Indian only on a not a public platform, but the world stage, that shows that you hate a certain other ethnicity and another ethnicity. And this was said by multiple government ministers, especially when the Prime Minister of India was coming down. And what they did to this small man, yes, they're lying. They changed that footage so much, because trust me, remember there's editing tools. So let me get to in closing now, because I realized this was easy to make, so easy. And we haven't been done with the police service as yet. So having a 120 recording of you bigging up that you find back, how much, boy? 22 of the 62 guns. And mostly none of the ammunition, when it's 4,000 rounds. Yeah, that shows something. So, Mr. Guevara, don't ever call me a keyboard warrior again. Because my shot on YouTube alone shows that people were listening. And everybody was making comments. Don't be a pathological liar. And talking about mosquitoes and certain things. When you send an idiot called Suzette to govern people WhatsApp chats, who's a police officer who's very shameful and very unintelligent. Other than that, Miss Martin, Russell did confide in me. And that's why the public knew when you sent officers by my house that you were involved in his murder. Because the thing about it, what's interesting about the human eye, it is the windows to the soul. But also about the human eye is, it's also a mirror. Because reflections inside of them, how close you could see when people standing up in front of you. So when he was reading out his statement, when it had no TTPS involvement, you could see two individuals standing up in front of him. And other than that also, a 60-something-year-old lady or 70-something-year-old lady with arthritis could never climb more than 17 feet with a bad hand, could hardly lift up a 20-ounce soft drink. Piss on me, but don't tell me it's raining. So, check this scene. You all could continue lying, but there are people like myself who they're trying to threaten. And that is why I see it's very interesting what's going on. May the money that you receive from this government poison you all for the rest of your lives. And this year is the year of the Aquarius. The truth is being told by people like me. So, I want you to understand something. That I was born this way. And my real spirit form in cartoon-wise is Akuma. You can't control me in any format, but you're trying to always do what my hat said in the previous part of this video. And that will never happen. Don't lie to those that are genuine in spirit. Because the raging demon can be controlled in any way. As usual, Trinidad and Tobago. I love you guys. Deuces.